Okay, so today we're going deep on something that's, well, it's pretty fascinating. Have you heard of Filecoin?
Filecoin, yeah.
It's one of those names that's been kind of like buzzing around the crypto space.
Yeah.
We're going to try to unpack it today, like what it is, why it matters, and
For sure.
especially if you're new to crypto, because even if you don't know much about like Bitcoin or whatever,
Uh,
Filecoin's got this connection to things you've definitely heard of, like NFTs and even the metaverse.
right, right.
So we've got a whole bunch of articles and research we dug into.
Yeah, yeah, it should be interesting.
And our mission today is to like give you the Filecoin lowdown without getting lost in all the technical jargon.
Awesome.
So let's start with the basics. Like, what even is Filecoin?
Okay, so imagine this. A hard drive, right?
Okay, yeah.
But instead of it being inside your computer, it's spread out across a whole network of computers all over the world.
A giant, like, global hard drive.
Exactly.
Interesting.
And the really important part is that it's decentralized. That means there's no single company or authority that controls it.
So it's not like Google Drive or Dropbox where, like, one company has all the power.
Exactly. It's a completely different approach to data storage.
Okay, no giant tech overlord. I like that. But how does a decentralized system like that even work? Like, who decides what gets stored and where?
So Filecoin has this really clever built-in economic system. People who want to store data, they pay to do so using Filecoin.
Okay.
And then people who have extra storage space, we call them storage providers, they can earn Filecoin by storing that data and proving that they're doing it reliably.
Hold on. Proving they have the data. That sounds a little complicated.
Yeah, it involves some cryptography, but basically think of it like this.
Oh, okay.
Each file gets a unique digital seal, like a tamper-proof guarantee,
Right.
and storage providers use these mathematical proofs to show they have the file safe and sound and that it hasn't been messed with.
So it's like super secure because of all this like math stuff going on behind the scene.
Precisely.
Cool. Okay. So where does IPFS come into all this? I know they're connected somehow, but
You're right, they are. IPFS is kind of like the foundation on which Filecoin is built.
oh, okay.
See, with IPFS, files aren't identified by where they are, but by what they are, by their actual content. It's kind of like imagine a website address that never breaks, even if the website moves to a different server.
Oh, that would be amazing. So many broken links out there.
Right, that's what IPFS is all about, and Filecoin adds this crucial incentive layer on top, making sure people are actually willing to store that data for the long haul.
So IPFS is the map and Filecoin is the fuel, kind of.
Good way to put it, yeah. And because of that, we're talking about the possibility of permanent data storage, which has always been a huge challenge.
That makes sense. I mean, websites go down all the time, hard drives fail, data gets lost. But with Filecoin, it sounds like those problems become a thing of the past.
That's the idea, yeah. And it's not just theoretical. Filecoin's already being used in all sorts of ways.
Oh yeah, like I was reading about NFT storage. They're using Filecoin to store all the data for NFTs, which is pretty huge given how popular NFTs are getting.
Right, and there are some really interesting use cases beyond that, too. Like the Shoah Foundation is using Filecoin to archive Holocaust testimonies.
Wow, that's incredible.
They need that data to be preserved forever, and Filecoin offers a way to do that reliably.
So this isn't just about like cool tech, it's about real world impact.
Absolutely.
I get it. So for someone who's just dipping their toes into the crypto world, why should they care about Filecoin? What's like the big takeaway here?
Well, think about where the internet is headed. NFTs, Web3, the metaverse.
Right, right.
Filecoin has the potential to be a fundamental piece of all that. It's a way to ensure that data is secure, that it's accessible, and that it's controlled by the people who actually own it, not by some corporation.
So it's kind of giving power back to the users.
Exactly. It's a pretty radical shift in how we think about data online.
Okay, so just to like sum it all up, Filecoin is this decentralized storage network, kind of like a giant global hard drive.
Yeah,
It uses these like incentives in cryptography to make sure data is stored reliably and doesn't just vanish. And it's already being used in some pretty amazing ways, and it could play a big role in the future of the internet.
exactly. And it really makes you think, what happens when data isn't controlled by a handful of powerful companies anymore?
Yeah.
What does that mean for our privacy, for freedom of information, for how we interact online?
A lot of big questions, and it seems like Filecoin is like right at the center of it all.
I think so.
Wow. Okay. Thanks for taking this deep dive with us into the world of Filecoin. It's definitely given me a lot to think about.
Me too.
And for everyone listening, we'll be back with more deep dives soon, so stay tuned.